We will be talking about the light reaction. The two main phases of the photosynthesis. One is the light dependent phase or the photochemical phase. So why we call it photochemical phase? Actually, in this phase, a series of chemical reactions is occurring in a quick succession. Means readily, it is occurring very readily, and this is initiated by the light energy. This is initiated by the light energy called the photons, the smallest unit of the light energy. So a series of chemical reactions occurring in quick succession initiated by the light, therefore the phase is called the photochemical phase. And this photochemical phase, it takes place in the thylakoids, and the walls of the thylakoids has the chlorophyll of the chloroplast. Okay, now another thing is thylakoids. If one thylakoid is said, then we consider is thylakoid, and if there are more than one thylakoids, we consider as grana. If there is a piles of thylakoids, we call it as grana. So the light dependent phase actually takes place in the grana of the chloroplast, where the walls of the thylakoids contain the chlorophyll. What are the two steps? Two steps of the photochemical phase. First of all, activations of the chlorophyll occurs. The chlorophyll when gets activated when it is exposed to the light energy. When it is exposed to the light energy, it absorbs the photons. Photons, we have discussed that photons is the smallest unit of the light energy. So when it absorbs the photons, it gets activated. First step over. Then second is the splitting of the water. We call it photolysis. Anything when it is splitted by the water and by using the energy called the photons is called the photolysis. So using the light energy, the absorbed energy is used in splitting water into hydrogen ion, oxygen ion and electrons. Reactions: 2H2O using the 4 photon energy converts 4H plus 4E minus plus O2, and the reaction is known as photolysis. Photolysis is the process of splitting of water, and photo means something related to light. So splitting of the water into hydrogen ions, oxygen ions and electrons using chlorophyll and photons, and the end results are this: H plus, which is picked up by a compound NADP and converted into NADPH. NADP, it is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. When it gets the H plus ions with the presence of one electron and enzymes reaction, it converts into NADPH. Then second step, 2O means single, means we call that O with the another O atom, it mixes and forms molecule of the oxygen. We call nascent oxygen also single molecule, single atom of oxygen with another atom of oxygen to molecule of oxygen. O2. O cannot exist independently. Now ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, using the electrons, an inorganic phosphate, it converts into adenine triphosphate, ATP, and we call this process as phosphorylation. And as this is occurring due to the photons or the light energy and the initiated by the light, we call it photophosphorylation. We know photo means something related to light. Photophosphorylation. Phosphorylation means the conversion of ADP with the using the inorganic phosphate to adenine triphosphate. That process is called the phosphorylation, and it is initiated by light. So adding the word photo again, which is something related to light. Now another one is the, we know, polymerization. It occurs in the light independent reaction. In the next part I will upload that. It is a dark phase which occurs in the ground substance of the chloroplast, that is stroma, and it is the light independent. Dark phase doesn't mean that it occurs in the dark. It occurs simultaneously with the light dependent phase, but it does not require light energy. It can occur without it, and it occurs simultaneously by the speed of 1/1000. Remember, 1/1000 speed. Very minute difference between the time of them. Okay, and next thing is that several glucose molecules, when converted into one molecule of starch, When several glucose molecules are converted into one molecule of starch, we call that the process is polymerization. Okay, that's it. First of all, NADP to NADPH using the H plus ions and O2 molecular and phosphorylation. When presence of light, then photophosphorylation. And reactions we have to remember. And another thing, photosynthesis reaction is very important. That is the 6H2O plus 12H CO2 gives in the presence of light energy and the chlorophyll C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. Here 6 and 12 and here 6 and 6 and glucose. Okay, that's it. And glucose can be stored in the plant in the form of either insoluble starch, can be converted into the sucrose, or can be directly consumed by the plant with a very rapidly in the speed of the formation. The formation of glucose during the photosynthesis is quite very rapid. Even it cannot be consumed by the plant in that succession. So it is stored in the storage organs of the plants in the form of insoluble starch, so that after the transpiration is over or the photosynthesis process is over, in the evening they can convert it into the glucose or the sugar, solute sugar, and can transport to the different parts of the plant with the help of the water or the phloem and xylem movement.